but it's time to get the party going. So we'll figure that out. These damn Samsungs. But anyway, we back though. 1, 2, 3. What's up, America? We live. How y'all doing out there? It's Emos the Witness, and as you know, this is the Phil Show, standing for, as you know, what the fuck I look like. And we're here on a Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday morning. Shoot, it should be afternoon. I got off to a very, very rough start this morning, man. I got to tell you, man. But we're going to get into that here momentarily. But again, this is a new political show, a new political analysis. I'm your host, Emos, and I am just a witness. I am your referee. I am your guide. We're going to push back against this political agendas that are out there. We're going to hold truth to power and accountability, and that's what this show's all about. So I'm downtown at 120 East Market Street, live, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I encourage you to come down and get you a show. From 10 to 11 a.m., you can peep me out here, representing you and speaking your views and your standpoints down here with my man Malik and Wyatt, two of the hardest working men in media. So let's get into it. Let's cut that back. Let's get some background music, Malik. Let's get into it. Let's get into the news. Like I said, you know, every I just show develops. We're trying to bring different concepts, different vantage points to your perspective. And on Wednesdays, what we're trying to do is highlight a politician or a congresswoman or someone in society that is questionable or corruptible, or somebody we need to review as far as their leadership over the decades, right? And today I want to cover Maxine Waters. I think it's very appropriate given the recent verdict of the David Chauvin trial. So I want to get into that here on the Emos Witness Show. Again, on Wednesday, we like to highlight these politicians and kind of get into their background and see what they're about. And I think she's a perfect candidate for what we're discussing. But like I said, before I want to get into that, man, I want to get into some very domestic shit real quick. You know, because I had a very rough morning. I just want to talk about it. I want to get off my chest. You know, Malik, I bought a dog recently. I think I told you about that. I bought a little Yorkie Terrier for my daughter.
I think you did bring that up, yeah.
Yeah. So, I bought this damn terrier, man. I really shouldn't be cussing at the dog, but I really enjoy the dog. I really like the dog, But this morning, man, I stepped in some dog shit.
Outside or in?
Inside, man. It's a little dog, so we're trying to train him. So he's doing pretty good, as far as peeing on these little white pads we got. But I got hit with the shit this morning, man. I mean, I'm talking about barefooted.
Oh.
I'm talking barefooted in the middle of my daughter's doorway. So my daughter, I can't lie. My daughter, she's spoiled, So there are occasional times where fucking 99% of the time we actually pick her up and carry her out the fucking bed in the morning. My wife started. I'm trying to stop it. She's 5 going on 6. She should be able to get up and start walking to the bathroom and things like that now. So needless to say, I'm picking her up. I can't see the floor. And I'm not realizing this little dude's right behind me or he's near in the area. He's nearby. Man, I step in this shit. I'm talking about it gets between the toes. You know what I'm saying?
Did you slip a little bit?
No. Oh, man. If I slipped and fell, that's the whole point of me telling you this. That's why we start these shows so late sometimes, you guys. Because I was damn near about to go back to bed. I was damn near about to say the whole day is over. Fuck what you heard. I'm going to sleep. I was going to sleep the whole day. I was going to do one of them 9 p.m. wake-ups and make some burgers. That's what I was going to do tonight. But my whole day was sleeping in burgers today. I'm about to call you up and say, hey, man, give me the damn fee. Fuck it. Give me the fee. But yeah, hey, you must have win the show. We got to keep the party going. So I got up. I think that I'm growing. It's growth, because I got my ass up and I said, we're going to make this happen. We're going to go ahead and go to school. We're going to be late. We're going to be late going to school because you know why I was late today? Dropped my daughter off at I've been having this issue for a while, Malik, and I had my wife in the house. And today I was another 10 minutes late. You know why? Because I had you ever had the I can't find my wallet heart attack scare? Where you can't find your wallet and you have that heart attack feel in your body?
Yeah.
You're panicking like you lost your child in the train station?
Yeah.
Man, I had that this morning. I had that like twice a month. Probably more. Where like you got all your clothes on, you good, you're set. And you touch you're patting your body down. Where's my wallet? What the fuck? I can't believe. I don't know if that's worse than losing your phone. What do you think? If you lost your wallet or your phone, which one would you be more panicked about?
Probably my phone, only because of like what's in it. Like my wallet. Yeah. If I lose my wallet, I'm like, okay, I could get literally all that stuff back. With my phone, it's like who's finding my phone? That's what I'd be more scared of.
Well, I mean, your phone. With your phone, you get your code on there potentially, so no one can really crack it. I don't know, man. I think the wallet is pretty. You got them cards in it. You can't really buy shit right away. You don't know nobody spending your shit.
Yeah, but if you got your phone, then you could cancel all the cards.
Yeah,
or you
true.
Can use your phone to buy stuff with your phone.
Your cell, and then your cell phone. They can look through that shit anyway. The government, so That's just like anybody. To me, the phone is like your advertising piece, your own personal advertising, module in your hand. It represents you to the fullest. The wallet is now prehistoric, right? The driver license, the ID. We don't need that shit no more. The birth certificate.
You keep your birth certificate in your...
What? Why not? Shit. Hey man, nowadays you got to, man. I need alibis, man. I need full. Look, when I get put over by a police officer, like I said, we'll get into the David Chauvin trial soon. When I get put over from a police officer, I'm full disclosure, man. That's the only time that I'm not protecting my privacy. I'm like, what you want to know? Then I'm wearing boxer briefs.
There's no way you got your birth certificate.
Here's my birth certificate. Here's my social security card, sir. Here's my driver's license. And this is actually my old driver's license, sir. Check this out. This is from Phoenix when I lived in Arizona. This is my old driver's license right here. I got all kind of shit. I'm ready to represent who I am. I'm open. Look, in most of witness, hit that like and subscribe button. I'm open book, you guys, and that's what I gotta be. And not only that, I gotta give you guys these issues and these politics and these articles as a witness, as a guide. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you some shit about me, man. I'm trying to be open book. So when I get put over on a police officer, man, I'm full disclosure. I'll tell you everything about me. I'm not doing shit wrong. Hopefully, I used to do shit wrong, but I stopped. So I feel like I could express myself, and then be like, yeah, this dude just a cornball. He's okay. He's safe. But yeah, man, just a rough start of the day. And I don't know if it's because it was snowing yesterday. It was a lot of weird shit going on. A lot of. It's just one of them days. It's like you take a shower and then you get out the shower and you gotta take a shit, and then you're soaking wet and you're taking a shit. And you're like, man, I'm just gonna go home. I'm at work. I shouldn't even be doing. I mean, I just you just want to start the whole day over. Bring on Thursday. You know what I mean? I almost brought on Thursday. I almost skipped. I almost had a 4-day week, America. And it's all about being a parent. So Malik, hey, Wyatt, Malik, I want you to get ready, man. Parenthood is nothing to be played with. You got dogs, you got dog shit, you got spoiled kids, and you got time limits on when you get them to school. All that has to be, look, man, it's not easy. Are you ready? Are you ready, Malik?
Of course not. Of course not.
I think you guys are avoiding the inevitable. I want you guys to start embracing parenthood. You guys are not gonna be young forever, Let me be your example. You got any questions, man? Let me know. My younger brother's actually having a I'm actually having a niece coming pretty soon. I'm thankful for that. You guys want to experience it. I'm trying to tell you. You don't want to be old and be like by yourself. I mean, I'm trying to tell you. Look at this pandemic. You imagine being old. You imagine being I don't want to dog old people. Imagine just being a single person in your apartment for like a year, and your apartment is like spa. You're kind of lonely. I don't know what I'm going there. I don't know what I'm going there for. I don't want to make you guys too sad. Let me stop that. Even once with the show, like I said, I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I'm downtown at 120 East Market Street. This is a hot new political show, new political perspective, bringing you analysis about topics going on in this country, where we pinpoint and we identify congressmen, Hollywood elites, social or industry icons, or individuals who have a lot of influence and power. We want to make sure that they are responsible with it, because they're influencing our decision making. We gotta make sure they're not corrupt. We gotta make sure they're not taking advantage of us, because we witnessed that in 2016. We witnessed that in 2020, and we still witness that today. This trial it's historical for several reasons, and I don't want to jump into it. Actually, I purposely didn't talk about it until after the verdict was read. And there's going to be some appeals going on, of course, and it's going to be a lot of emotion. But I think this was the right answer overall, and we'll get into that in a minute. But like I said, the person that we're going to be highlighting today is Maxine Waters, and her incitement of violence, her confrontational behavior, her disdain for the rule of law, for the Constitution. I mean, just as most of witness, I have to make sure that my producer's been telling me I need to be more expressive with my point of view. I need to get in depth about what I'm talking about. And it's hard to kind of tread that line because, well, it isn't hard. It is, but it isn't. But what you want to do is you want to make sure people understand you. They don't have an opinion about you based on one sentence of your statement. And, I'm going to fly out and say, man, Maxine Waters, she what makes me fear of she is what causes me to have a little fear about women leadership. Okay, there I said it. All right, and I'll say it again. In particular, black women leadership. Okay. And the same thing goes for Rashid Tlaib. Same thing goes for the girl down in Atlanta. I can't think of her name. The huge chipmunk, the beaver. The beaver. What's her name? I gotta look her up. Well, can you look up the Georgia beaver? What's her name? Malik. What's the lady's name that ran for?
I know you know.
I'll look her up. Shit. The lady Shara Amos. That's her name. That's not her name. What's her name? She looks like the lady. Georgia, man. I can't believe it's on my tongue.
What is she? A senator or a congresswoman?
What is she? Man, she's a bully. What she is? She's a hall monitor. I talked about her before. Oh golly. Just type in Georgia and like.
Is she running for office or something?
No. She was like this. She was like the main central person in this past 2020 Georgia election. So the Georgia election. How about Georgia? Let me see. I'll type it. Georgia election. I want to say this other person's name, but Stacey Abrams. Jesus, you know, someone could have called in assholes or hit the chat and said, "Hey, Stacey Abrams."
Oh yeah, Stacey.
You know, all my 10 subscribers out there could have had me. Had me hanging out there. Y'all like that, don't you? Didn't you know it's a new show? Don't you know I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, America? Don't you know that I just started doing this? I don't have a TCOM background, but I have an inspiration to protect the Constitution. You know, our core values, our tradition that we all grew up with. You know, I'm a little different. You know, I do respect the right to protest, the freedom of speech, the right to bear arms. Despite all these shootings, I still want to protect those guns, dog. That's right. I want to protect the right to vote. And this lady's a violator of that. Miss Abrams, most certainly. I want to stay on track, though. Shit, that's the reason why I brought her up. But, see, Amos win the show, I run on tangents. You know, I jump around a lot. You know, my thoughts and views and points like that. But, you know, like I said, I want to stay on track, though. And like I said, the reason I started this show was not attack, but hold these politicians accountable. And we're going to do an expose on her. But like I said, we want to stay on Maxine Waters. And like I said, the whole point, like I said, I got to be more vocal in my opinion out. And I really fear black women leadership. I really do. Hey, I'm sorry. You guys are emotional. You got any hint of confusion? It's a problem. You ever go to a license branch? Huh? I'm serious, man. You ever go to any health clinic? They run the nurse. Man, black women are queens of the nursing home, and they run the nursing racket. Shit, man, they're the gatekeepers of the hospitals. But you go in there with any kind of confusion, man, any kind of misunderstanding, they'll go off on you. Yeah, I'm supposed to go through. Yeah, man, it said door 3. I'm supposed to make a right, and I can find the Dr. Fritz. No, sir, it's the green door, and Dr. Fritz is not in today. I don't know. The I don't know just sounds so impactful. When they say I don't know, it's like, oh, they know. They don't want to fuck with you. They don't got time to deal with you. It's 11:45. Lunch is on the way. I'm serious, man. Like, I really prepare myself when I walk into a bank or anything, and I see a black woman. Man, I just got into it yesterday with a black woman over some fees on my account. I really did, man. She hung up on me. What kind of customer service is that? I had to call back. You know what happened when I called back? Another black woman answered the phone. You know what she said? So-and-so was on the phone. Like, how's she on the fucking phone when she just hung up on me? How's she gonna call that quick? And then she goes, well, I don't know when she's gonna be off. I said, I'll hold, I'll wait. That's the kind of conversation you had with your baby mama. Where her girl is filtering the phone calls. That's a bank. That's an institution. Where's the customer service at? Anyway, I have that kind of fear when those type of personalities reach the halls of Congress. Or can you imagine, like, dealing with a foreign policy issue or dealing with a war and a conflict? I just think that certain genders in this country rely on emotion to deal with a lot of their issues, or there's a certain level of emotion factored into their decision making. You know, it's like a passive aggressiveness. It's a tit for tat, I'm gonna get you back type thing. So you can call in and talk shit to me all you want. That's what I've witnessed over the years. Okay? Hey, that's how I feel. And so, I do take that into account when it comes to electing my officials. I do take that kind of personality into account. I really do. That's a different thing than what we witnessed in 2016 to 2020, right? With T-Dog the Prez, I think that person that I saw there honestly was and people don't understand, and people don't agree with that, and people get upset. But hey, I mean, I saw a Winston, I saw a General Patton. Strong vocal point, hold people accountable, speak the truth to power. Truth hurts. Truth offends people. But truth gets shit done. It gets done fast and quickly. And again, I'm jumping around again. I'm talking about Maxine Waters. Let me give you a little bit about Maxine Waters and her background. So, she's been in Congress for about 30 years. She is the epitome of what I've been talking about. These old politicians just staying in power, lining their pockets up. We need term limits. We need fresh blood. We don't need someone who was an instigator of violence and corruption and just speaking recklessly. Let me go into let me talk about let me do that. Let me show you a video. And Malik, what we got should do? Let's play the second video. This is a montage of Maxine Waters just kind of spreading her rhetoric, and this is what I want to talk about, how she pretty much interfered with this trial. Even though the trial was the right results, this is the danger that politicians have been playing for decades, and we've seen it most recently ramped up into the elections. And Democrats are the best at playing this game and getting away with it. So let's hit play. Let's listen to how she kind of spews her rhetoric over time.
If we can't protect the children, we can't protect anybody. If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome. The people are going to turn on them. They're going to protest. They're going to absolutely harass them until they decide that they're going to tell the president, no, I can't hang with you.
Not in D.C. Not in the U.S. Not in D.C. Not in the U.S. Not in D.C.
We can cut it off.
Not in the U.S.
So then the other, so you guys may recall, may not recall, during right after Trump won the presidential election, she had that fiery speech where she encouraged people to get out and follow these politicians, follow these cabinet members wherever they go, to their restaurants, to their places, to their home, threaten their family, call their offices, and harass them. I mean, and at the height of that, at that moment in time, America was more divisive than it ever was. It was a lot of emotion, being spread out, a lot of disdain for the results. And you got to remember, these results were a landslide victory for former President Trump. It was a shock. It wasn't expected. We've seen politicians, media slants, and media heads, and business leaders, and Hollywood elites, and Hollywood celebrities just going off and just throwing a temper tantrum for the past 4 years. You cannot deny that. And that continues to this day with the censorship of big tech and people arbitrarily making these decisions on what you can hear, what you can listen to as far as positions from Republicans and the president, former president. You can't even hear anything from a former president. Can't even offer his own opinion on any kind of medium or any kind of TV station. He's being blacked out. Whether you like him or not, I'm fighting for the censorship portion of it, because these things could affect you over time. How these laws, how we abuse our power when we have it, when it's overconsumed, when it's there, like big tech, Yahoo, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all these sites. In order to push back against that, we gotta question it. We gotta question it, no matter who is being affected or targeted, because you can be targeted too. So if we can't get access to vital information or different angles, different perspectives, we're doomed as a society, because we'll all be thinking the same. And we'll all be following and being this groupthink theory. While people that control power, control main industries and main parts of this country, get away and trample on your rights. We have to stop that. So I encourage you to get your own show. I encourage you to maybe come down to 120 East Market Street, Wave One Media. But for now, I'm Emos the Witness. I'm your host. I'm your guide. Let's go through these articles. Let's hit that like, subscribe button. Let's get that up. Let's start holding truth to power, and let's start identifying these positions and being more informed. So when we go to that ballot box, we're ready to go. We're ready to select and elect the right people in power. But talking about Maxine Waters, like I said, that video is just a portion of some of the rhetoric that she's been spewing over the past few years. And she just did it recently where she, like I said, she tampered a little bit on this David Chauvin trial, this case with George Floyd. And not only that, so did Biden. And let's play that first video. Let's look at how Biden, at the 16-second mark, I think 18-second mark, Biden, he's adding his 2 cents so early in this verdict. Has not even. I mean, the jury was sequestered at one point, and they weren't at another point. And he was still speaking on this and influencing. I mean, this is so much influence on this verdict. And like I said, I think this trial was actually done correctly and done objectively. The judge was perfect in his positioning and in his responsibility of it. It was held. They couldn't move the trial, so the prosecution did a great job as far as there was 6 black people on the jury and 6 whites. And it looks like the sentencing would be fair given the circumstances. I think this is the first time offense. At the same time, you got. I mean, like I said, you don't want society to play a role in the facts of this case or any influence on the jury, but I mean, it's a hot button issue and it's hard to avoid. The whole country knows about it, and it's like, when do you kind of when do you say, okay, these are the facts of the case. This is the verdict. This is the decision, or in between that, and say, now what point, what influence does society have on this verdict or this case? Because we do know that if we vote a certain way, it can cause a potential riot around the whole world. I mean, the whole country, for that matter, rather. And they had barricades up, barbed wire, and all these fences up around in Minnesota and everything last night leading up to this case. And it's like, maybe some cases you have to kind of weigh in that societal result, response, based on if it's guilty or not guilty. And I think that also played a major role in this verdict. But even though this verdict was still right. And I'll explain that here in a minute. But what I want to do is I want to explain the political part of it, the interference of it. Let's play this video from Joe Biden. There's 2 points. There's 2 speeches that he makes on this topic.
A jury in Minnesota found former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin guilty on all counts in the murder of George Floyd last May. It was a murder in the full light of day, and it ripped the blinders off for the whole world to see. The systemic racism the Vice President just referred to. The systemic racism is a stain on our nation's soul. The knee on the neck of justice for Black Americans. Enough of this senseless killings. Today's verdict is a step forward.
And then we just play the other points with the 127. His other speech. This was one I think was before. Well, he may mention that this is when they were sequestered, right here, and he made his point.
I'm praying the verdict is the right verdict, which is, I think it's overwhelming in my view. I wouldn't say that, but the jury was sequestered now, and not hear me say that.
When was the last time
Again, even still, why would you even, play around the edges of this case? So close to the verdict being read. Once you wait to offer your opinion. But that's the political part of this whole thing. Democrats are great at seizing the moment. You wonder why the Republicans are so quiet about that. They think that them being quiet is that they're being more traditionalist, or they're being more upstanding, and being more respectful to the issue, and not trying to be not try to politicize it. But at the same time, you're losing the battle when you don't. Because Democrats don't care. They're going to seize the moment. They're going to say that, hey, they're going to come out and give these speeches. They're going to do a Maxine Waters. I think Maxine Waters on that. She's on that video, I think, further down. That same one not that one, the other one, the one you just played. If you can kind of hold it in, yeah, let me keep going. There she is right there, I think. Yeah, start that at the this was she stated that this actually led to the judge threatening a mistrial. This is what the defense actually requested a mistrial because of this speech she just gave the night before the verdict. Not only this verdict was so. I mean, this speech was so so fiery that it caused assassination attempt on 2 National Guards. Again, like the Republicans are quiet, and when they do that, they give off the inclination that they are racist, or they give off the inclination that they don't care about the sensitivity of American societal issues. You know, but and when they're asked about it, they do make the right statements, but they're not out there like the Democrats is, you know, spewing some kind of rhetoric or confrontation or try to seize the moment, take advantage of the people who may be emotionally derived by this. You know, what do they offer besides emotion? Let's play this video real quick with Maxine Waters real quick.
We've got to fight for justice, but I am very hopeful, and I hope that we're going to get a verdict that will say guilty, guilty, guilty. I don't know whether it's in the first degree, but as far as I'm concerned, it's first degree murder. Well, we got to stay on the street, and we've got to get more active. We've got to get more confrontational. We've got to make sure that they know that we mean business.
So there's a reason.
Okay, so you know the confrontation. We gotta get more confrontation. We gotta be in the streets. That's the same thing she said in 2016. And like I said, that led to 2 National Guards being shot at 3:00 in the morning that same night. And you know, but this kind of influence, these kind of speeches, this causes juries to react a certain way. You know, when they hear this stuff. Now the judge told the jury don't listen to any kind of TV, but there's other ways to get your information. They weren't sequestered when she gave this information. You know, politicians being reckless with their words. People are happy that, you know, I'm happy. Look, I'm happy that the verdict is what it is. We need reform, and I think we do. Look. I think we do see reform over time. I think we see it with the body cams. I think we see it with a lot of inquiries, a lot of investigation, a lot of internal affair investigation, a lot of departmental reviews that go on. A lot has to change, though. We're not even nowhere near the finish line. But what I don't like is, like I said, I don't like the politics of it all because it has nothing to do with anything. It causes more problems. Excuse me. Get some water.
Emos, do you got your phone playing a YouTube video in the background?
I mean, yeah, I might be. You know,
yeah, I think I hear your show playing.
Being so, show me so be so organized how I do things. That could very well be happening right now. Cause we're a live show, baby. Did you hear it now? I think I fixed it. You good now? I think I fixed it.
Yeah, I think you're good now.
Okay, I had to wind up a little bit. Let me just actually hit that. But yeah, what was I? Yeah, like I said, politicians, what they're doing is, you know, Democrats in particular, they're spewing this rhetoric and they're not worried about the consequences, and that really bothers me a lot. You know, or if it's being done on purpose. You know, and I just think this is another example of Maxine Waters, 30-year veteran of the game. You know, she's not new to confrontation. She actually came into Congress on confrontation. You know, back when she came into Congress, her first what gave her claim to fame was she repeatedly interrupted a speech by Peter King, Republican of New York, who was the presiding officer. Carrie Meek classed her behavior as unruly and turbulent, and threatened to have the Sergeant of Arms present her with the mace of the House of Representatives, which is the equivalent of a warning to desist. This is when she first got in. Now, as of 2017, this is the most recent instance of the mace being employed for a disciplinary purpose. Waters was eventually suspended from the House for the rest of the day. So they don't actually mace you, but they call it a mace if you we warn you to shut the fuck up, desist, or we're going to put the Sergeant of Arms on you. That's how she came into Congress, fiery, confrontational. So I guess it's no surprise that we see speeches that reflect the same. And again, like I said, it doesn't help the division that we have in this country. And we have to have our politicians to be more responsible with their words and their rhetoric, and hold them accountable when they do things like that. So, you know, the defense for the David Chauvin trial, they're calling for a mistrial. They didn't get it. The judge threatened a mistrial. And now they have a right to appeal. And they're saying that her words can cause this thing to be reversed. And then or a lower sentence. and that can cause potential riots in the streets and more angst and more. So who's the victim of all this, and who's the culprit? Who's the instigator? We need our leaders to do more, be better than that. Not poking the bear, not causing more division. We need to get past this moment. And I'm the type of person, I'm done with the emotion when it comes to police shootings. I'm done with dealing with, when it comes to racism, I try to avoid too much conversation about it. I try to avoid digging into the weeds because I think there's a bigger picture. And I think leaders use the topic to get power, to play on your emotional strings, and we never come to real solutions. So I want to see real solutions from our leaders on this, but I do like the progress on the fact that, there's accountability on the police officers. It's going to force, when you take away their money, when you threaten their freedom, then there's going to be forced change. And not everybody's a bad apple, but there needs to be more movement on the policies and procedures, because there's too much common sense shit going on where these things should not happen. And it's just, we got to start waking up. If you're scared, you shouldn't be a police officer. But this first time that we've seen a police officer get convicted, and I don't want this to be over politicized. I don't want this to be some kind of witch hunt. I just want everything to be fair. I want America to show a good representation of what a law looks like, what a jury, what a court process looks like, being convicted by a jury of your peers. Okay, and I want that to continue to go on from a state, local, national level when it comes to our leadership. Let's drain. Like I said, let's drain the swamp. Let's continue it. We can do that here on this show. We can hold people accountable. Emotional Witness, the Field Show, saying what the fuck I look like. Hit that like, subscribe button on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And let's be that news show. Let's be that news show that kind of push back on mainstream media, and let's fight back against these weird agendas that we don't know nothing about. But it starts with me though, waking up and not dealing with these, not dealing with dog shit and things like that. But sticking on Maxine Waters, and hopefully this format will get better. She came into Congress, on that shit. But as far as corruption goes, according to Chuck Nobler and Ted Rochlich of the Los Angeles Times, in 2004, Maxine Waters' relatives had made more than $1 million during the preceding 8 years by doing business with companies, candidates, and causes that Waters had helped. They claim she and her husband helped the company get government bond businesses, and her daughter, Karen Waters, and her son, Edward Waters, have profited from her connections. Waters replied that they do their business and I do mine. See that black woman thing I talked about? Like when she gets her quotes, I do my thing and they do theirs. Don't ask me no questions. We don't need that from our leaders. We need openness. We need upstanding and righteous leaders. Okay, we don't need those kind of quotes. You know what I mean? Like, you just meant to me as a politician that's being elected by the people. When you make little statements like that, and she's not the only one. When you make statements like that in publications, you're dismissing the American people who voted for you. You're talking to me when you talk like that. When you say they do their business and I do mine. We're talking about corruption and influence and nepotism, lady. In your 30 years in office. Okay. Liberals watchdog group Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington named Waters to the list of corrupt members of Congress in its 2005, 2006, 2009, and 2011 reports. Wow, you'd won 4 Emmys for corruption. Okay, so Citizens Against Government Waste named her the June 2009 Porker of the Month due to her intentions to obtain an earmark for the Maxine Waters Employment Preparation Center. I don't know what pork is, but pork is the extra money or extra sugar that they add in these bills to get more money for their cities or money for themselves. They call it pork, which is additional fund that we don't really need in our budgets. And she apparently won Porker of the Month because she tried to get some money earmarked for a Maxine Employment Preparation Center. Line in her pockets, pretty much. I wonder how much money she's made since she's been 30 years in the game. Are you supposed to be making money? Are you supposed to get a salary? How are you making money in Congress? How do you leave a millionaire? We'll ask Hillary Clinton one day when we get her on the show, right? I want to cover her pretty soon, too, on a Wednesday. But yeah, Waters came under investigation for ethics violations and was accused by a House panel of at least one ethics violation related to her efforts to help one United Bank receive federal aid. Waters' husband is a stockholder and a former director of One United Bank, and the bank's executives were major contributors to her campaigns. In September 2008, Waters arranged meetings between U.S. Treasury Department officials and One United Bank so that the bank could plead for federal cash. It had been heavily invested in Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. You remember those two loan operators? Two loans. And its capital was all, well, maybe housing. It's all but wiped out after the U.S. government took them over. The bank received $12 million in troubled asset relief program, TARP money, and the matter was investigated by the House Ethics Committee, which charged her with violations for the House Ethics Rules of 2010. So, wow, okay, so you know that she, the Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington named her, put her to the list of one of the most corrupt members of Congress in 05, 06, 09, and 2011. 2010, she was charged with violations of the House Ethics Rules, and on September 21st, 2012, the House Ethics Committee completed their report, clearing her of all ethics charges after 3 years of investigations. Now, 2012 was the Obama administration, right? Democratic leader. I'm not going to say no names, but she obviously is an official that is not about the right. From what I'm witnessing, tell me if I'm wrong. Emo's the witness. You know, you can hit that chat button up. You may be persuaded and change my opinion, but from reading these facts and reading these figures, she is a habitual line stepper. And she did that in these two speeches she said recently. And if you look at her history regarding the elections, this lady doesn't quit. She challenged election results in 2000. Maxine Waters and other members of the House of Representatives objected to 25 electoral votes from Florida in which George W. Bush narrowly won after a contentious recount. Because no other senators joined her objection, the objection was dismissed by Al Gore, former VP. Now, in 2004, election results, Waters was one of 31 House Democrats who voted not to count the electoral votes in Ohio in the 2004 election. George W. Bush won Ohio by 118,457 votes. Without Ohio's electoral votes, they would have decided the election would have been decided by the House of Representatives. Again, habitual line stepper, instigator, confrontationalist, obstructionist, objectionist. She objected to 2016 presidential election results. Waters objected to 3 electoral votes in Wyoming after the 2016 presidential election, a state Donald Trump won by 68.2% of the vote. Because no senator joined her objection, the objection was dismissed by Joe Biden. Now, this is the infamous video. You guys may not have heard about this back in 2017, Reclaiming My Time. This is her behavior. Like I said, this is an analysis we're doing on politicians on Wednesday, so I'm going to go a little more. This is Maxine Waters' video, famously called Reclaiming My Time, showing her dismissive and rude behavior in the halls of Congress during a judicial hearing with Steve Mnuchin a couple years back. So let's play that real quick. Malik, excuse me.
Answer that.
Just please go straight to the answer.
Mr. Chairman, I thought when you read the rules, you acknowledged that I shouldn't be interrupted and that I would have
reclaiming my time. What he failed to tell you was when you're on my time, I can reclaim it. He left that out, so I'm reclaiming my time. Please, will you respond to the question of why I did not get a response, me and my colleagues, to the May 23rd letter?
Well, I was going to tell you my response.
Just tell me.
Okay. So first of all, okay, let me just say that the Department of Treasury has cooperated extensively with the Senate Intel Committee, with the House Intel Committee, with the Senate Judiciary Committee.
Reclaiming my time.
Okay.
Reclaiming
Matter of
my
fact,
time.
Mr. Secretary, the time belongs to the gentlelady from California.
Perhaps, Mr. Chairman, I don't understand the rules because I thought I was allowed to answer questions.
Reclaiming my time. Would you please explain the rules and do not take that away from my time?
We will give the gentlelady adequate time. So what I read, Mr. Secretary, were statements of the ranking member and Democratic colleagues on how administration witnesses should be treated, not necessarily the way they will be treated. So the time belongs to the gentlelady from California, but I assure you majority members will allow you to answer the question when it is our time.
Okay, so what I was saying is that we have provided substantial information. We believe there's significant overlap. And matter of fact, I would say that we spoke to your Chief Oversight Council yesterday. We have been responsive, and we are trying to coordinate with you the response, and we've suggested that you get the information through the other committees. But I would like to emphasize we believe we've been very
Reclaiming
responsive,
my time.
and we'll
Thank
continue
you
to do
very
so.
much. You left a message yesterday, or someone on staff left a message.
No, we didn't leave a message.
Reclaiming
We
my
spoke to the
time,
Chief
reclaiming my
Oversight
time,
Council.
reclaiming my time. You did not respond. You left a message. Let us keep going.
Man. Okay, like, I just don't really like that kind of childishness in politics. They've been from a 30-year veteran of the game. That shouldn't, in my opinion, shouldn't even be there, right? But yeah, I mean, that's her, it's her action. I mean, a lot of people don't watch these congressional hearings. They don't really see the bucket of chicken being brought into the office, the ripping of the State of the Union address. I mean, you may see that, but you don't see some of the behavior. Not so this Kamala Harris behavior, but it's also it's all political. It's lawyer speak. It's reclaim my time is. Now what she's doing is very childish in a sense, but also it's a way to not getting the person. I mean, it's a way to not get the person to answer the question because they don't want the answer. They want the media clip. They want the headline, the highlight of the day of the news. So that made her famous. She wasn't really trying to seek an answer that she wanted, but that affects progress in Congress. That affects our lives. It trickles down when you have poor leadership like that. When you have leadership that is deceptive in nature. She's not the only one. That's why I'm saying I'm not really trying to just. I had to call her out because it's Wednesday, but this behavior is all over. It's saturated all over the halls of Congress, from all sides. At this show progressive, we're going to expose all that. We're going to say we're going to put a new taste in your mouth when it comes to how these politicians they react and how they act. But she can't be let off the hook, man. She's done a lot of things to interfere with a lot of elections. She's done a lot of things to interfere with a lot of societal results. 30 people were killed. Now I don't know if 30 people were killed in the whole summer of riots. I got to double check this, but about 30 people were killed in the whole summer of riots this past year in 2020. I don't know, just in the state of Minneapolis or state of Minnesota or all around, but I think it's all around. And then you look at the Capitol riots, and you look at how they treated former President Trump when it comes to that issue. I mean, he is synonymous with that. Capitol Riot Trump. He might just make his middle name Capitol Riot. Donald Capitol Riot Trump. Because he's been shut down. He's been censored. He's been ridiculed. He's been shamed out of office. He made a key mistake and opened it up for them to accuse him of this. But if you compare the two protests, the apples and oranges, man, it's night and day. And the way it's being treated in the media, the way it's being addressed is shameful, man. A lot of, I mean, these cities are still damaged. These cities are still economically hard and struggling. And part of that is due to the leadership, the Democratic leadership in these cities. The facts are out there. The numbers are out there. The unemployment rates are out there. I'm in Indianapolis, man. It's ran by a Democratic mayor. Well, our murder rate is up plus 20 at this point in time last year. Killings all over the place, man. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, that's Maxine Waters, Supreme Instigator, confrontationalist. She's been doing her whole career while lining her pockets and her family's pockets. And I think that, at some point, I think on one of these Wednesday episodes, I'm going to even bring her back up again because I do want to get to a point where I want to highlight and talk about black leadership in the United States. These organizations, the Black Lives Matters, Black Congressional Caucus, Maxine Waters, Al Sharpton, J.C. Jackson. They're still in the background making these moves, Barack Obama. And how effective have they been? And are they for real? Are they heavily influenced or are they already corrupted? Why can't we be organized just like any other racial group? Why do we always keep slipping? And I think there's an answer to that we all know about. And I want to dig into that at some point as well. Because I think that she is a reason why we can't move forward. It's a reason why we go out into a level of emotion and we just leave the problem solving by the wayside. Or at least I don't hear much or see much solutions. But maybe we're beginning to see that with this case, with this verdict. But what I don't like is the leadership, and I'm just here trying to prove my point, make my stance, and do my part, because I think that we can have a lot more. It's time to move the needle. We need to stop digging so deep on this emotion and going home sitting on the couch just because we have the answer, we have the verdict that we wanted. But what goes on after this? What solutions are at hand? How can we get to how can we end the division and get some more understanding? So I want to be able to talk about that in the future, here in the next couple of weeks maybe. But as you know, we're going to get into Freestyle Friday coming up this Friday. Hopefully a little more lighthearted. Hopefully the damn snow will be gone and it'll be back to the spring weather, summer weather on the way. A little more optimism. You know, I'm going to jump into COVID, talk about that. Talk about some more corrupt people as well. I want to talk about a little Bill Gates. My man, in his little train station. What he's been up to. So we'll talk about that as well on the Most to Win This show. Again, I want you guys to have a wonderful rest of the week. I'm gonna try to be punctual, get out here, on time, and maybe we'll start on time one day. Like I said, it's a new show. Again, you can catch me live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. Wave One Media, downtown at 120 East Market Street. Like that subscribe button on YouTube. Hit it up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the website will be coming soon. It's in development. Where I hope that as the show progresses, bring you more angles, new perspectives, editorials, hopefully interviews. I want to bring you on Friday, as we freestyle, I want to bring you a sports angle where we talk about a little bit of NBA and we talk about a little bit of sports betting. My man Larry Sugar, a new personality that I bring onto the show to talk about sports, to help you guys out a little bit on your betting game. So, Emos to win it, y'all. I really enjoyed you guys. We have a great rest of the week. I'll see you on Friday, and I'm out.